Hi, I'm Demetria, and you're listening to the Mompreneurs and Heels podcast, episode number 65. I help mompreneurs launch and build a virtual heart-aligned business while raising your kids and taking care of yourself too. I also help women launch and create your blog and your podcast. I'm the author of the Mompreneurs and Heels, a guide to passionate, purposeful blogging book that you can find in Amazon. And I'm also a podcast coach for women entrepreneurs and creatives. And you can find my podcast coaching VIP program over at impactpodcastcoach.com. On this show, we're going to be talking to a successful virtual assistant who has some pointers to help us along our entrepreneurial journey. So even if you're not a virtual assistant, if you're not a VA, I still recommend that you listen to this episode because it's going to be really helpful when it comes to learning things that will help us in our online businesses to walk toward success along our journey. So there's lots of things that our guests will be talking about with us today that's going to encourage and help us as mompreneurs. And so I can't wait to share her with you. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We're going to hop straight into the interview, and then I'll come back at the end for some last minute announcements, and that'll be our show for the day. So let's get straight into the interview with our guest, Sasha Eburne. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Mompreneurs and Heels podcast. Today, I have with me a wonderful guest. Her name is Sasha Eburne, and she is a coaching professional that can help you understand how to create your own virtual assistant business and how to do it successfully. So if you're feeling stuck or at a crossroads in your career or emotional life, Sasha believes that you have the strength not just to survive, but to truly thrive. So we're happy to have you here today, Sasha, to share with us about how to thrive in business. So thank you for being here.
Amazing. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, we always start our show with the background story, the entrepreneurial journey.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a virtual assistant, but you also do a little bit more than that. So you're going to share with us all the things that you do and tell us your story. How did you begin virtual assistant, and how did you start your career in general?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually came from 20 odd years in the hotel industry, and that was predominantly in the events and sales sector. And that was all down the East Coast of Australia. I spent some time in the Middle East and in Vanuatu as well. And then 2019, 2020, COVID hit and very much became a casualty of COVID. And in hotels, they were sort of the first ones to shut down. Sales teams were the first to go because there was no selling. So very much out of a job, not sort of knowing which direction to go, and kept on coming in and out of roles. And it was really sort of up and down 12 months. And then I went for a small stint in real estate and actually met up with a friend who'd previously come from the hotel industry, and she was a virtual assistant. I was like,
okay.
What is this? I've never heard of this. And she told me, and she's just like, this is what I do. And I was just like, hey, I could do that. And then, she invited me to all the VA Facebook groups, and I sat back and watched for about 6 months. And then one week there was probably about 10 leads on Facebook, and I wasn't enjoying my stint in real estate. And I thought, I'm just going to give it a go. And I got my first client in 24 hours, and I quit my full-time job in 2 weeks, and I was fully booked within 3 weeks.
That is amazing. It was so quick. Wow.
So quick. And I'm like, why didn't I do this earlier?
Why didn't you do it earlier? Right. Right. It's amazing how life works that way, how sometimes things take a little longer, and then suddenly you're in a place where a business that you need to be in, and it just takes off. And so that's amazing. Well, tell us some of the coaching services that you provide. And then also, why do you feel that they're important for mompreneurs like us to consider in our business?
Yeah, definitely. Great question. So with the success of the VA business, I really wanted to share the knowledge and I guess the mistakes that I'd made over time. So I developed a coaching program where we offer one-on-one coaching. So they do get to work directly with myself, and we take them through a journey. And that's generally a journey from startup to implementing, to getting clients, and then actually working alongside those clients. Then now I do have a lot of people coming into the coaching programs where they already have an existing business. They've already gone all in on themselves. However, they just can't get the clients and sustain the business throughout. So we very much talk about that scale up stage as well. So pretty much wherever somebody is within their business, I curate and customize the one-on-one coaching directly for them. We do also do group coaching containers. So people do tend to thrive with other females and other entrepreneurs. And a lot of them, are mums as well, either getting back into the workforce or just wanting that more work-life balance with the kids at school and things like that. So generally do get a lot of mums that come into the program. So right now it's either a group program or a one-on-one option. And it's no matter which stage in your VA business that you are, that we like to work with people.
That's wonderful. I know that there's so many moms right now who are looking for just something to contribute to the family financially. And I've heard a lot of people are looking at VA business, starting one.
Yes.
And so that's what you help women to do, is to start their business and to even.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
exactly.
So speaking on those terms, I'm thinking about the word sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can just tell us a little about what you feel sustainability actually is, sort of define that for us, and let's figure out what this means to have a sustainable business.
So it's about initially finding the clients that aligns with our values. So not working with anyone, working with the people that we can easily build rapport with, we can actually work quite well with, and generally they're similar people to us. Right. We want to work with those people that work in the same ethics that we work in. If you're a person that doesn't want to be micromanaged, working with a solopreneur or an entrepreneur that's not really looking over your shoulder every second of every day, that actually gives you the opportunity to thrive within their business. So finding those types of clients and finding the businesses that we're excited about and we're passionate about. And we find that a lot of our clients are those entrepreneurs and solopreneurs. So it's very much their livelihood going into it. So supporting them on that journey and then building that long-standing growth within their business as well. So whilst initially a lot of VAs starting in the industry, they might go in working with someone's business in calendar management or travel management or even customer service emails for their clients, what happens after that? Because you're only going to grow as a VA as well. So when I started my journey, we started off very much as administration. Now we're building landing pages, back-end standard operating procedures, onboarding process for their clients. So we just learn and grow within our clients' businesses as well, and are able to offer them so much more. So it's very much that long-standing relationship with our clients. So to me, that's really what sustainability is not only growing your own business, but also growing within somebody else's business as well.
Oh, that's beautiful. I haven't quite thought of it that way. And that's exactly what sustainability is. It's on both ends. And so
absolutely.
That. And can you just share a few tips with us about what it means to build our businesses sustainably as busy women entrepreneurs? You just sort of gave us a little bit already. If you can sort of elaborate on how we would go about doing that.
Yeah, so it's really working out as well what your specialty is, what your niche is. And if you try and be the master of everything, then no one's going to come. So really trying to be that master of one and attracting that one clear client. And then you get known within the industry as being an expert. And then people will start coming to you. The word of mouth will get around. People will be like, oh, I've seen that VA business. That's what they do. Go and speak to them. And that essentially, once you get your audience and the greater public, I guess, referring for you, then to me that becomes sustainable as well, because then you need to, you can essentially put less resources into actually targeting and trying to bring in new business and building your funnel. It just comes organically to you as well.
Right. So it's really about narrowing down your niche and understanding your specific product or service that you're offering. Getting very
that's right
about that. So
it really makes a big difference to be seen as an expert in that field.
Exactly. Okay, so we've been talking about sustainability, and so we're going to get a little bit more personal now and talk about some of our challenges and successes in business. So I'd love to hear about anything that you've gone through that can be an encouragement to moms listening today. If you can share a roadblock or just something you've encountered in business and how you overcame that.
Yeah, so a couple of hurdles. One is team. Team can be challenging when you're working with different people and understanding what drives different people, what they need as well. So my take on that is actually really to spend time with the people that I've brought into the business to support our clients and really understanding them individually, as well as remunerating them correctly as well. So, if they've proven themselves and they're actually really making a difference in the client's business, rather than always looking at, how much money you're making as a business, well, actually, how much would it take to actually invest in this team member and actually have them stay long-standing as well? And you pay people well, then they stay, and that they enjoy working and they put so much more of themselves and their passion and drive into it. Because at the end of the day, money is what drives people a lot of times. It's a matter of it's the bottom line.
Right.
So, looking after them and actually identifying what their skills are. And I do also like to offer training to my team as well. So if they're working with a client and the scope has changed, I do offer that to the team as well. And I think that really goes a long way with the team. And I think probably the other hurdle is, doesn't happen all the time. However, sometimes it happens where you don't get paid from a client. So it's very rare. And I've been very lucky to work with some amazing clients. However, sometimes things happen within your business and you just change the way that you do things. Right. You just adapt and you just need to be able to change it. So, since we had issues with a client paying, we've now moved to paying in advance. Okay. You pay in advance before we go do the work. And it was something that I'd never had to do before. However, if you work with a copywriter or if you work with a graphic designer or a web developer, you always pay up front.
Yes.
So a VA business should be no different. So you just kind of go with the flows and I think if you're going into the business, you just have to be able to adapt with what the market is demanding and what's asking. And then if you have issues with clients, then you just change your processes for the next time.
That's right. So it's about paying attention to what's happening in your business and being flexible, being able to move with the flow. And if something is a roadblock or a hurdle, then just figuring out a way, thinking outside of the box sometimes, or looking at what your patterns are and what other companies' patterns are, and seeing maybe they have an idea that I could implement in my business, and let's try that. And then, so I love how you're talking about flexibility and how just being flexible and being able to navigate these hurdles doesn't mean we have to stop what we're doing. We should continue in business. We should continue to be
absolutely
pushing forward and not be discouraged. So I love that.
Absolutely. It's all learning experience as well. And I think the other thing that I've been able to do and quite enjoyed is I've immersed myself in the industry. I've connected with other people. I've connected with people on the other side of the country that run their own VA business as well. So you get that really good group of friendly community that if something happens that you haven't come across and you're like, actually, I don't really know how to navigate that, reach out to somebody else's business and say, hey, have you had this happen? How did you handle it? And get other people's feedback, because 9 times out of 10, somebody else has gone through it. So why not use a community that you've got to assist you through moments like that as well?
It's amazing. Teamwork amongst your peers or those who are working as you. So it's not competition. It's about working together and seeing what you can glean from each other. So
exactly. Yeah. I've always seen collaboration over competition.
Yes.
And there's also plenty of clients for everybody.
All right. That's right.
Every single day, there's somebody else starting up their own business.
Yeah.
So there's definitely plenty to go around.
Plenty to go around. I love that. Okay. So now we talked about some hurdles. What are some successes, some things that you're just proud of that you said, okay, I did this and I'm glad I did it that way.
Yeah.
Any successes that you can think of right now?
I think just being able to advance our offering in line with the skill set, because we learn and we grow. And, once I've developed using a new system, great, we go off that to a client. We even go and offer it to our existing clients. So a lot of times they don't know that we actually have the skills. So one client that I've been working with for two years, he goes out there and he starts planning a conference, like a really big, large retreat. Unknowingly, did he know that I'm actually a qualified event manager? So, I reached out and now I'm, planning his 4-day event in June. So, really using the skills that we've got and kind of sharing them as much as we can. So we are utilized to the best of our capabilities, because sometimes people might come into our business working with us, a small fraction of what we can actually do. So very much sharing all of our skills with our clients. I guess going from 0 to a team of 10 was, an amazing achievement. So, 10 VAs around the country. We also now have 5 event managers around the country because we have an events branch to the VA business. And then personally, in August, my daughter and I, we went and lived in Bali for a month, and I could still work, we could still go out and play, and it was just a beautiful experience to have while still being able to run the business successfully as well.
Those are quite some successes. And
Thank
that's
you.
so encouraging, so encouraging that if we would just do what we feel that we should do, and just enjoy the work, treat it like a
Absolutely.
business, and move forward. If there's a hurdle or a setback, just move forward and navigate it, but continue and keep pushing forward. And the growth that you've experienced is amazing. So you have a masterclass coming up, and I'd love to hear
Yes.
that. So please share with us.
So it's the VA Accelerator Challenge. So it's really for anyone that's really looking to make 2023 the biggest year yet in their VA business, or if they've just started, still working out how to navigate it. So it's really going to set themselves up with some clear goals, some clear guidelines, and clear tasks to really kick off the year, knowing where to find clients, how to maintain them, and setting up those realistic, tangible goals that actually they can take back to their business, implement them, and really start the year off on the right foot.
That's wonderful. I think so many people that are looking to start their VA business needs to attend this masterclass. It's going to help.
Thank you.
Sounds like it's going to be an A to Z experience where they learn it all. So
yeah, for sure.
Yes. And when is it going to be held?
It's going to be held the 16th, 17th, and 18th of January. We have early bird tickets available at the moment, which is 77 AUD, which probably only about 50 USD, and then it will go back up to 97 AUD after the New Year. So limited spaces. So definitely, if anyone's available to jump on, we'd love to have you on the call.
Love that. Thank you so much, Sasha. I would love for you to share your website and any other way that our listeners can reach you.
Excellent. So we have www.sashaeburne.com and also Sasha Eburne __ on Instagram. If you're having a look at the VA business, if you're looking for services, or even if you're just starting out and want to see how another VA business runs, it's www.virtuallyassisted.com.au or on Instagram, virtuallyassistedau.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm so glad you were here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I really hope that you enjoyed that interview with Sasha. She was incredible, and she has so many resources to share with us. She's so resourceful, and I hope that you found this to be a wonderful experience listening to this show today. I want you to go ahead and follow Sasha at all of the socials that we talked about and join her on her masterclass as well. I'm also this year in 2023 going to be updating the Beginners Blogging Academy. So I have a lot of things up my sleeve, a lot of things in store for you. So I hope that you'll join me. And all of these resources, all the links to everything that I mentioned today, you're going to find in the show notes for episode 65. So you could simply hop over to mompreneursandheels.com, and under the show notes, you'll find that information there. Also, wherever you're listening, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, those notes, all of the links to everything we've talked about today will be shown in the show notes. I'm really excited about this year, about 2023, and all of the wonderful guests that we have in store. There are so many people that wanted to be a part of this podcast, and I'm so, so grateful to have the opportunity to talk with each and every one of these beautiful, successful women who started at zero and now are just thriving and so successful at what they're doing because they're doing what's in their heart to do. And that's what's important to me, to see you thrive, to see you be successful in doing what is placed in your heart to do. So I truly hope that you will enjoy the show this year and that you will go ahead and hit the sub button if you haven't already. Follow me in Apple Podcasts. Follow this show on Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you find your podcasts. And I hope that you'll give this show a rating. For those of you who started listening to this show back in 2016, I believe it was when I first started, things have changed around just a little bit. And it's just a little bit of a different flavor and flair to what we do here at MIH. So I thank you for still following, and I hope that you'll continue. I also want to give a plug for some of my other podcasts in case you don't know about them. As a podcast coach, I really enjoy podcasting, and so I do run 4 podcasts currently, and my husband runs one. So if you don't know about them, that will also be in the show notes. I run Soul Podcasting, which is my brand new podcast. It's all about how to start, launch, and leverage your podcast. And we're so far about 7 episodes in as of January. And so I'm working on that one weekly. We also have the Christian Homeschool Moms podcast for those of you who are interested in homeschooling your children and would love some encouragement. Women of Faith, hop on over to christianhomeschoolmoms.com and there's a podcast for you there as well. And lastly, I also run the Her Business Elevated podcast for women of faith specifically who want to grow and leverage your business online as a Christian woman. And so I talk to women CEOs, I talk to corporate executives, I talk to people who have been through it and who understand what it means to have a successful business. So if you want to follow me there, that would be great as well. And then of course, thank you for following me here at Mompreneurs in Heels, a show specifically for the mom in business who needs to leverage family with business and keep your priorities with your family where it should be. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful week. And I'll be back with you next time with more guests. See you soon. Bye.